for watching. I'm Prerna Agarwal, Technical Product Owner for The Guardian. Today we'll be giving you Guardian update of Sprint 76 that lasted from October 14 to October 25th. So just a quick overview of the agenda. We'll be looking at the Guardian roadmap. We'll also be talking about the issues that we tackled in Sprint 76 that lasted from October 14 to October 25th. Then we'll be flipping over and giving you a short demo on Sprint 76. Then we'll be looking ahead of week of October 28, which is Sprint 77. And we'll also be talking about the issues that we'll be tackling in Sprint 77. Then we'll be also talking about the upcoming releases. And we'll be also giving you some of the ways that you can either submit bugs or policy requests through various different channels. Talking about Guardian roadmap, so we are working on the calculation logic for values in automatic fields and schemas. And we are also working on the climate action reserves US landfill protocol for our upcoming webinar. Talking about Sprint 76, so in Sprint 76, we committed to 49 story points and we delivered 31 story points, which actually includes 4025, which is data parameterization and conditional review logic. And also we have enhanced our statistics report functionality by adding import and export functionality, which is 4233. Now let's look at Sprint 76 demo. So the first ticket what we'll be looking at is 4025, which is data parameterization and conditional review logic. Currently the Guardian data, which is entered in the form of verifiable credentials, requires reviews by independent auditors or VVBs. In policy or methodology structuring, it should be possible to determine normal or variances of answers that would be allowed by standards and or auditors. Typically in other settings, this would be treated as anomaly detection. It is unclear if this requires a conditional workflow, which is possible today in the Guardian via policy, or a conditional logic for review based on a specific answer. In an ideal setting, machine learning models would be able to parse data for answers within the normal range or flag for additional review rejection. So in order to implement this, what we have done is we have recorded a demo for you guys and see how that functionality works in Guardian now using the UI. We also have the API for this. So as you can see here, this is our normal user, which is a project developer. Now, as we can see that you can go to policies and then you can click on manage schema rules, and then you can create new rule which would require name, and you can also select the policy to which these rules can be applied. So we enter the name of the rule as new rule, and then we also select a policy which is just IREC 4, one of the version of IREC 4. Now we click on edit, and then you have again the same process as we do for our statistics report, that we select all the schemas where we want to add or create the rules or configure the rules for. So we select all the schemas and the fields underneath that. Like for one example here, we are selecting country, and the second is we are selecting approximate number of employees. And in the issue request, we also do a total kilowatt produced. Now, once you select the schemas for which you want to configure the rules for, now it is a step to configure the rules. So the first rule what we'll be doing is we'll be taking a template as a range, and then we'll be adding that this minimum should be 100 and the maximum value should be 1000 for the number of employees. And then in the kilowatt field, we would be adding as a condition that the if then condition, which would be enum value. And then if the enum is A1 is United States, then the formula would be A3 is greater than 1000. Then it would check that particular formula. In addition to this, we would also be adding more rules, and you can add more rules as you like, using different formulas or templates, the condition templates, and so on. So here, as you can see, one is the enum, the second. Now what we are doing is if we have the country other than United States, if we have Germany, and if we also have France, then this would be the formula being applied to A3. Which would be A3 would be greater than 100. And if none of those two conditions exist, then this would be the else statement, where we would just check whether the A3 range is between 100 and 200. So as you can see that you have different several options here to configure the rules for each of the field of schema, and then you can test whether this applies. So we apply the changes and you can also preview it, and you can see if the corrections or the rules what you have configured is correct or not. So as you can see, we are just entering Germany as a country. And then if we just say 10, and if we just say 1, and when you just say check, you have this highlighted indicating if it is a green, indicating that is correct. And if it is amber, you can just see that there is some incorrect value being entered. Once you feel those are the rules corrected, you can go back, save it. Then you can make these rules as active or inactive according to you. Then you can go back and then execute IREC 4 as you have applied those rules to IREC 4. And you can just check if those rules are correct and if those rules are applicable now. So for that, we are just running that particular policy. We just select a role as a registrant, and then we just execute and see those schemas field if that is applicable and if this is being assigned to this particular policy. Now, as you can see here, one is the country, what we have done. So we are selecting United States as country. And then now as you can see, then approximate number of employees we have done is minimum 100. So once you do 100, you can see the green check mark. And if you just do more than the range value, what you have assigned, you would just say failure new rules, because new rules is the rule name what you have configured. So you would just see if the condition is applied or the rule is applicable and correct, it will be green. And if it is wrong, it would just be amber. In addition to that, we can also test the kilowatt rule, what we have configured. So we'll be just going to that and then checking if even those rules are saved and published for this particular policy. What we have done is we have just submitted that particular request, IREC request, and now we just go to standard registry and then we review the document for the approval. Now, even here in the document approval or the document view, you can see those views or the rules being visible even to the standard registry or whoever verifies, you can see those rules being highlighted. So that was a demo for data parameterization and review logic. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. In addition to that, we have also completed a documentation. So if you go to docs.hedera.com under schema section, we have added schema rules folder where you can see a detailed step-by-step process with all the required screenshots. And we have also added our APIs related to that, where you can see how to create the rule, how you can create a rule from the file, how you can delete it, how you can configure, how you can retrieve all the schemas, rule, and everything. All the APIs are present in our GitHub. So the second thing what we wanted to also look at is 4233, which is import or export for statistics. So as we have already implemented a functionality of statistics report in 3336, where you can configure and publish the statistics, which users can use to access the data from multiple documents. But these statistics, while being published, cannot be brought into another Guardian instance except for manually replicating them via the statistics creating UI. In order to make this more enhanced and make sure that it is being used, we have implemented the import and export functionality. Even for that, I have a video over here, which is a short, which will actually show you and give a demo of how you can import and export the statistics. So as you can see, this is our statistics report page. Now we have the export button here, which would actually export and give you the zip file. And then we have also added an import. So what will happen is when you export, it would be exported by the extension .statistics file, and which will be getting saved in your local system. And if you want to import, you can just drag and drop the file, which is extending .statistic. And then you can just drop that extended, and then you can make all the changes required. You can select the policy and then import it. So as you can see here, you will, whenever you import, it will be in the draft status where you can make the changes, configure, and then check if all the things what you need in the statistics report is there, or you can able to edit each and everything, the scores, the output fields, the schemas and everything. So this is just a kind of like enhancement what we have done for our statistics report. If you have any questions on this, feel free to reach out to us on Slack or email. So that was a demo for Sprint 76. Looking ahead of week of October 28th, which is Sprint 77, we are currently committing 31 story points, which includes 2986 calculation logic for values in automatic fields. And we are also working on 3709, which is climate action reserves US landfill protocol. So talking about our releases, our last release was on Friday, July 31st, 2024. Our next release will be on Thursday, October 31st, 2024. So there are multiple ways to reach out to us. You can reach out to us on GitHub. You can submit policy requests, enhancements, or if you find some bugs, please go ahead and mention those bugs with us so that we can get a theme on it. Also, if you haven't joined our Discord, come and join our conversation at hedera.com/Discord. And when you get there, search for sustainability channel, or feel free to reach out to us directly if you have any policy request by emailing us at info@envisionblockchain.com or directly through our website, which is www.envisionblockchain.com. Thank you. Have a great day.